From the frog to all the deep dark things, the 1.19 Wild update has brought a lot of new things to the game. When there are new things, of course, there are new farms. Hello everybody, it's me, your boy. In today's video, we're going to take a look at 3 must-have Wild update farms that I designed. If you are human, then leave a like on this video. If there's a farm you'd like to see in a part 2, request it down below. And if you're new around here, hello. You finally made it to the best place in the universe. Our first farm of the day involves the wonderful mud. Mud is really cool, but small problem. Mud could potentially be a little bit annoying to craft. You have to physically place the block down, use water bottle on it. Yeah, that could be a little bit annoying. With farm number 1 set up in your world, you'll be able to craft mud a lot more efficiently. My favorite type of farm is a farm that's easy to build. This first farm is definitely easy to build. The materials that you're going to need to collect to build this thing, pretty simple to get. 8 pistons, 1 button, 18 redstone dust, and 8 water bottles. You're also going to want to have a water source nearby. I highly recommend having a good shovel to collect the mud, maybe efficiency 5 netherite, and dirt. You will need dirt to make mud. Also, it might make your life a little bit easier to isolate this farm away from grass so, the dirt doesn't turn into grass before you can turn it to mud. To do that, maybe building blocks. Plus, building blocks are always good to have. The setup process for this farm is insanely simple. To begin, we're going to start by digging an 8-block long trench. In this trench, we're going to place pistons, just normal pistons facing straight up. 8 of them in a line just like that right there. Then we're going to pick a backside of this farm. Backside doesn't really matter. We'll pick this side. For the back of the farm, we're going to need to run redstone into these pistons. Now, if you're more late game, you could definitely use repeaters here. If you're early game, you could just do something like this. So what I'm doing here is basically alternating 1 low spot, 1 high spot, 1 low spot, 1 high spot. This is going to take 18 redstone dust when you're finished. If you place the redstone dust down in the trench just like that, you're going to end up with something that looks like this. This is a problem. If we power this, the piston's not going to power. To fix that, building block, building block, building block, building block. That separates the redstone dust, and then if we had a button, like let's say, I don't know, right here, all of the pistons are powered. That's basically the main part of the farm. Like, that's essentially everything. Now we just need to talk about using this thing. But before we talk about using this thing, let's talk a little bit about isolating this farm. Like I said, dirt, turns into grass. To isolate this thing, couple blocks around the farm, really good idea. And then also to make collecting the mud a little bit more enjoyable, easy to do as well, maybe consider putting a back wall on this thing. Now, from the ground, you can reach about 8 blocks up into the air, 7 blocks. You can do your wall that tall and then maybe put a ceiling over it like I did on my example. It's totally up to you. I do highly recommend putting a back wall on this thing though, no matter what. Putting a back wall will make the mud way easier to dig up. Place a few more blocks on and we end up with something that looks like this right here. Really, it's nothing much. I like the white concrete, but you don't have to necessarily use white concrete. I did a perimeter of 3 blocks that should hopefully stop the grass from growing. Over here, I raised the wire up a little bit. If I press the button, that's what happens. That's perfect. Now, to use this farm efficiently, we're going to need a water source nearby. Make it infinite. Why not? One more small thing, make sure you don't have dirt in the bottom of your water source when you're going to pick up water with the glass bottles. If you have dirt down there, you'll make mud. I guess it will only throw you off the first time. After that, you'll be fine. But yeah, no dirt. So just like that, we're ready to start making mud. Now the inventory setup is very important here. Highly recommend setting your inventory up something like this. We have 8 glass bottles on the hotbar right there, and then a stack of dirt or however much dirt you want to turn into mud. In my inventory as well, I have a good shovel somewhere. Now, to start things off, we're going to place a bunch of dirt down right here. We'll just place 1 row of dirt like that. Then we need water. To fill up your glass bottles quickly, hold down the use button and then scroll. That's all you need to do. You'll fill up your water bottles really quickly like that. Then all you need to do is go 1 by 1 and turn the dirt into mud. Once we do that, we go over to the button, press the button, that'll move up. We could refill all of these while we wait really quick. And then same thing basically. We place the dirt down in a row like that and do it again. That's like literally it. Now, once you do this a couple times, you'll get a good rhythm down and figure out how you like to do things, and you could get relatively quick at this. Then, whenever you're done, let's say I turned all of my dirt into mud, grab the fast shovel, mine the stuff really quickly, and there you go. That's it. Efficient mud, efficiently. Absolutely, there are ways to automate this process even more, but automating this process even more requires even more supplies. Aside from a literal swamp, this is the easiest mud farm you're going to get. As you might know, the 1.19 update introduced 3 brand new light sources to the game. Frog light. They're all great. The only problem here, getting frog lights could be a little bit tricky. You need a frog to eat a small magma cube. Frog, small magma cube, yeah, they don't exactly exist in the same spot usually, so tricky. Unless you set up this farm. Seeing as this is one of my 3 farms videos, I like to try and keep these farms a little bit more simple, but with that being said, this farm is definitely the most complex farm out of the 3 today. The materials that you're looking at for this farm, it's a little bit more than the last one. You're going to need 9 hoppers, a chest, just some trap doors. The type of trap door technically doesn't matter. I like iron though. Then we're going to need a rail to get a minecart into place, and we're going to need a frog inside of that minecart. We'll need a slab, we'll need some fences, highly recommend the nether ones that won't burn. We'll need an iron golem, 4 blocks of powder snow, about 2 stacks of building blocks. That should overshoot it. And then there is an optional thing that you could do with 16 more hoppers. But if you're more early game, don't worry, you could skip those 16 hoppers and just go with the first 9. Location is everything with this farm. Not only do you need to set this up in an area that magma cubes can spawn, so Basalt Deltas biome, but you also need to set it up in a low area of the Basalt Deltas biome. If I were to have set this farm up, say up here on top of this giant rock, then any magma cubes that spawn below it, well, unless I build a big staircase, they're going to have a pretty hard time getting up to the farm. Instead, if I set this farm up down low, then magma cubes that spawn up high might eventually, hopefully, pathfind close enough to the farm to jump all the way down and try and take out the iron golem. They fail to take out the iron golem, of course, and eventually, the frog will eat them. So looking around inside of this Basalt Deltas biome, in my opinion, this is like the ideal spot. We have lots of high land that moves over towards that right there. Another optional spot that you could set this up, maybe like somewhere right there, maybe like somewhere over here, that could work. Maybe even somewhere like over here, this would work too. Only problem here, we have land right above this thing. We're gonna want to clear this out so the magma cubes don't literally airdrop onto the iron golem. That could be a problem, but yeah. So there's a couple examples as to where you could build this farm. Let's just go ahead and set this farm up for this example right here. Now what we're going to do is start with the platform. This platform needs to be 9 by 9. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Then we'll go over this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you're setting this up above lava like this, we're going to need a staircase. The magma cubes can't get up like this, so go down below somehow. And basically just make a small staircase. We'll need to start with the blocks sitting even with the lava, something like that. Then we go all the way around the ledge of this platform with the blocks so they can get up on every single side. We also need to fill this platform in, but in the middle, we're gonna need to build down. Yeah, so setting this thing up early game is gonna be tricky. It's gonna be tricky for sure because of course we're in the nether. Mobs would be jumping down on me. That would be a big problem. Also lava. Lava is like everywhere. If you're a little bit more early game, you could try clearing out an area of the Basalt Deltas, just flatten it out, make it clear. That might be a little bit easier. So here we have a platform that is 9 by 9 on this raised up spot, 11 by 11 including the staircase right there. In the middle we have a 3 by 3. We're going to need to set up hoppers in the center. So somehow build up from the lava ocean if you're doing it that way. Whatever you end up doing, you're going to need a chest somewhere and then hoppers linking into that chest somehow. The hoppers should cover this entire floor down here, the 9 by 9. Now, the nightmare part. This part isn't going to be fun at all. We're going to need some extra building blocks and we're going to need a frog. We're also going to need some rails and a minecart for this. Now, getting a frog to the nether, hatch it in the overworld, pull it through a portal, maybe have a portal really close or something. Maybe try and lead it over here with a lead or something like that. I don't know. I'm doing this in creative, so it's a lot more easy for me, that's for sure. But get a frog in a minecart, push it over to the middle of this farm. Then we're going to break these blocks out. Then to make sure this thing stays in the exact center, we're going to grab trapdoors and place trapdoors around it. Alright, so check this out. I placed trapdoors on those 3 sides. This one isn't working right there. That's because the minecart is kind of in the way. To fix that, jump down, nudge the minecart a little bit, and just basically continually try and place a trapdoor until it works. Eventually it'll work. You want to have something like that. That's it. Now, if you're more late game and you want to make sure you pick up every single drop here, I recommend adding another ring of hoppers. Now, adding another ring of hoppers is going to be expensive. It's going to mean 16 more hoppers. Definitely optional, but I mean, if you're more late game, it probably won't be a problem. Adding these hoppers will make the farm entirely lossless. Truly and sincerely, I wish you good luck. Good luck getting the frog inside of this thing. I messed with it in survival when I was setting up the farm over there. It was hard. It was really difficult. Leads basically were the big help here. So, next up we're going to need powder snow. We need 4 blocks of powder snow directly above the frog. So there's 1, that's 2, that's 3, and then that's 4. On top of that, we're going to place a slab, and then coming off of that, we're going to place some fences. Temporary fence in the middle, fences out in every single direction. Remove the temporary, even more fences right here. After this, in survival, I would be towered up here. I would place a temporary block right there, and then an iron block right there. Remove the temporary block, iron block right there. This is going to be the iron golem. The iron golem will lure all of the magma cubes over to this trap. Now, the powder snow is going to help take out the magma cubes that get stuck below. Sometimes when these things jump, the iron golem will actually be able to swing at them too. That's good. That's going to help speed this up. Powder snow will freeze the mobs, but it's kind of slow. The iron golem is a whole lot faster. Once these things get small, with the frog in the middle, the frog is going to be able to see these things, once they get close enough, of course, and eat them. These things will get eaten, and you'll get frog light. So check it out. Here this thing is in action. Now the targeting can be a little bit slow. Sometimes the frog will get focused on one magma cube admittedly, but after it takes out that one magma cube, it'll move on to the next one, and then the next one, and then the next one, and so on until they're all gone. So check that out. It ate it, and then the hoppers pick up the thing. Another way that you could do this setup here for the frog light collection would be some kind of minecart line, like a hopper minecart running underneath the thing, but I don't know. I feel like the hoppers right here, it is a little bit more expensive, but it's also just kind of easier. So this thing, it's kind of like trying to target the magma cube. We need to wait for the magma cube to try and pathfind. There we go. It should get a little bit closer, and then eventually the frog will think it can reach it, and there we go. Frog light every single time is picked up, and because I set the hoppers up right, it's thrown inside of the chest. That's it. All you need to do to make sure this thing keeps running is be in the area nearby, maybe like a nether hub or a different farm, and it will run and produce frog light for you, and sometimes magma cream too. If you'd like a more in-depth tutorial for this farm, maybe going over that whole frog process a little bit more, then leave a like, and maybe I'll make one. The final farm of today looks so simple, so unassuming, but it's a monster. This thing is good. This is a beast. So check this out. I have a really good pickaxe right here, efficiency 5 netherite. I'm going to mine cobblestone right here all around this thing, and it's just going to produce and produce and produce. I'm pretty sure this is the fastest cobblestone generator possible to make in this entire game. This thing is good, it's constant mining, and it's going to get you cobblestone. All of the cobblestone that you need in like literally no time at all. This thing is great. And it's easy to build. Easy farms, good farms. Materials to build the world's fastest cobblestone machine. 4 chests, 4 hoppers, 4 rails, 4 hopper minecarts, some water sources, a lava bucket, 4 mangrove roots, and a fast pickaxe. That's literally it. The other nice thing about this farm, it's symmetrical in 4 directions. So once you figure out the first direction, all you need to do is copy it again. So what we're going to do here for this farm is start with the chest this time, dug into the ground, then a hopper going into the chest. Then on top of the hopper, we do a rail. On top of that rail, we do this minecart with the hopper inside of it. Now it's your call. You could take your rail back if you want, or you could just leave it there. It's pretty cheap, so I'm going to leave it there. Then we're going to go temporary block, and then above the chest, we're going to do a root right there. Inside of the root, we're going to put water, then we can remove those blocks. Now, eventually, once we're done with the farm, we're going to put lava right there. And that's going to spill over and create the generator. But right now, lava will spill everywhere, so we're going to go ahead and just not do that quite yet. But with that in mind, that's the center of the farm. We base the symmetry around the center right there. That means the root's right there. The same setup on the bottom on every single side. So real quick, one more time, just in case you missed anything, dig down a couple blocks, then we place a chest right there. Then we put a hopper going into the chest. We have rails on top of that, minecart with hopper on top of that. Somehow we have a mangrove root above the chest right there. Remove that, dig that out so we can reach the chest, you know. Water inside of there, and then finally, once we have that set up on all 4 sides, lava sitting right in the middle, that's going to spill out, cobblestone right there, and then in survival Minecraft, all we need to do is walk up to this thing and mine. That's it. The fastest cobblestone generator possible, and the water doesn't spill out. It's small, it's compact, you can fit this thing like practically anywhere. Because we have 4 cobblestone generators in one, this thing is also efficient. It's entirely lossless because of the hopper minecarts, and most important of all, it's clean. The root blocks hold the water in, making this even more compact and clean. Who would have thought that 1.19 would revolutionize cobblestone generators? Simply put, there's no better way to make one. And that's it. Those are all the farms for today. I hope you enjoyed this one. If you'd like to see a part 2 with even more 1.19 farms, smash like, subscribe, and join Notification Gang today for more Minecraft Big Brain. I promise you will not regret. It's been me, your boy Waddles. Thank you for watching. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.